But as I was saying, people, if you read the New Testament a lot, the model church, it got a lot to do with home. Got a lot to do with families. Because times are getting hard. You got to think about what's going to happen in the world. What's prophesied to happen. One world government. You can't buy or sell without you getting the mark of the beast. You can't do nothing. All that's supposed to be coming. But we steadily building bigger buildings. And we know this is prophesied. We know this is going to happen. But churches are building bigger churches. It's going to require more money and more money and more money and more this and more that. I'm spirit talking to you today. You ain't got to listen to me. But do the math. You think all these churches are going to shut down? You think these buildings are going to be like, you know what? You know what? What they going to do then? What they going to do then? How they going to get paid then? I'm telling y'all something, man. Y'all need to watch As It Was in the Days of Noah. Y'all need to watch it. I keep encouraging y'all to watch this. I think it's on Prime Video. I'm encouraging you again to watch it now. Y'all need to watch that. It's very important. It's very amazing. It's going to tell you everything you need to know. And some things you don't want to know. He said, upon this rock will I build my house. And then Jesus stresses, he's like, God does not dwell in temples made by man's hands. They don't push that. They don't push that, but they will push, don't forsake the assembly. God dwells in us and in us, not in a building. They had church, they had assemblies of God and judges. They did. And the land was still polluted and still horrible. You see, God was like, I got to fix this. And he had this plan from the beginning. I'm like, I got to fix this. Because I know they're going to want somebody to rule. They ain't going to want me to rule over them no more. I got to fix this. I'm going to even put a king in there after my own heart who's going to stick to my statutes and mess up. But I need to send myself, man. The only way I'm going to fix these folks is if I go myself and handle this myself and teach them the right way and have them listen to me. I'm going to pour out my spirit so everybody can hear me. Everybody's talking about we living in the last days. So we living in the last days. Why y'all still building churches? Ask the question. Why y'all still building these places, these temples? You know, because every time I watch that sermon, a sermon on join a local church, they all say the same thing. They use that one-liner. They use that same one-liner. It's only one line in the Bible that say, do not forsake the assembly. Only one line. And I don't think they even got that right. So like I said, it's a local church. You see, think about this. You don't have to go and inquire the house of the Lord to talk to God now. Do you know that? We'll say it about the pastor, the priest, the Catholic priest. You know, you don't got to go to them. But you got to come here to hear me. How can you hear without a preacher? Well, guess what? Every man of God is designed to be a preacher. Every man of God, by design, designed to be a teacher, to teach his household. Think about when you read Psalms or Proverbs. Listen to the instruction of your mother and your father. Did you hear that? Listen to the instructions of your mother and your father. Which are, he's talking about biblical instructions. These instructions. He didn't listen to the instructions of your pastor or your priest. He said, listen to the instructions of your mother and your father, especially if they're God-fearing. Listen to them. You see people go to church now, they hear the word from them, and then they go home, they forget about it. They let the church teach them. They let the building teach their children. If these churches was doing right, did you think all this lawlessness would be in the land? Murder, thievery, lust, gluttony, all these things would be going on if this world was, if these churches were doing their jobs. I'm not saying some of them ain't doing their job. I believe some of them feel they called. And I believe some of them ain't called at all. But I always tell people it's just like this. Okay, I learned the word of God. I learned the word of God. So you mean I need to just quit working and everything and just build a church and beg people so I can get paid? You think that's what God called me to do? Imagine if every man who was called by God did that. Right? It don't make sense. Even Paul said you got own houses to eat in. Even when he sent the disciples out, he sent them to houses. He said, whatever house I send you to, abide there. Don't forsake the assembly. Sent them to singular houses, helping people get their houses in order. Whoever God want to send you to, being the model Christian, walking worthily as you are called. People think I'm against the Christian faith. I'm not. I'm about the truth. The world is getting more wicked and 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 more buildings and more buildings and more buildings on the last days, the last days, the last days. I wonder how many churches are going to shut down when it come time to get the mark. How many of them be like, you know, this is how I make a living. How many going to encourage their congregation or beguile their congregation? Think about it. If they can't honor the Sabbath, and the whole world lies in the sway of the evil one, and the whole world lies in the sway of wickedness, just think about it. Hear me out here now. The Sabbath ain't even being honored. Not even by your church leaders. And if you read Hebrews further on, after he's talking about the assembly of the saints, assembly, don't forsake the assembly, he says, Jesus is the same. He don't change. But why it seems like the Christian faith involves a lot of changing of things? Changing of the Sabbath. The Passover is no longer the Passover, it's the Lord's Supper. God has a birthday now. Wow, amazing. If God wanted his birthday to be known, he would have let us know. But he said, I'm the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. That's what he says. Yes, he had a spiritual, humanly birth, but that's what his birthday. He came here to fulfill a purpose. He's been around. That same Jesus that came out of Mary was the same Jesus that talked to Abraham. Make it make sense to me. But lawlessness easily makes sense. That's all I got for y'all right now, people. I might talk some more. I ain't over yet. I'm not done yet. I'm trying to wake up some of you out of your slumber. It was a brother, I saw him post, he was like, I'm finally finna get to preach at a church. And it's like God already put in my mind, hey man, tell them, don't write nothing down, just preach. This will continue. I'll be back.